Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the High Daily Show, the channel where we like to discuss weed, smoke weed, enjoy weed, everything about weed. We just love it here. So, if any of that rings a bell, or not ring a bell, but if any of that catches your interest, well, you're in the right place. So, this is the Lucky J of the day. I didn't roll it this morning. I just made a video on how to make a spliff. This is that spliff. I will give you guys a quick close-up on her. Pretty solid. So, y'all already know what time it is. Cheers. If you're new here, definitely like, subscribe. Comment down below what you'd like to see us do on this channel. So far, we have a couple rolling videos and some smoke sessions. Honestly, it's kind of our favorite thing to do. We kind of made this channel just so that we never really had a place to like express our passion and love for weed. So I thought if I was to make a dedicated YouTube channel for that, it would be great. And remember, this is not my main channel. I do have a main channel that I record video games on. Definitely go watch that if you haven't. I will link it in the description probably. Ooh. Like I said in the last video as well, I don't recommend tobacco use. It is a awful find that we found many years ago. It fucks everyone over that uses it. It's not worth it. It's coming from someone who's been addicted to tobacco, nicotine for over 5 years. It's been a struggle every day. It's not worth it, guys. It's not. But if you already have the issue and are trying to deal with it, well, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I made a how to roll video on the spliff. If you like tobacco, definitely go check that video out. That's what I was trying to say. This is still our lemon diesel. My girlfriend and I like to buy our strains in ounces because it's cheaper. It's a lot of fucking weed. And, well, I don't know, it's just cheaper. Like, I have a friend who will buy an eighth like every couple days, and he says he gets about like 12 to 15 bowls out of 1/8, and he packs his bowls full. Like, those are full bowls. I don't know if I'd be able to get that many. Maybe 8 to 10 bowls. I don't know about 12 to 15 from an eighth. Anyways, though, he likes to buy eighths because he gets sick of the weed quickly, and he likes to try different strains. And when I used to work at a different job, I used to be a detailer. I've already said that before. I worked at this place with him. He detailed with me. And he'd always show me these like crazy high percentages. Be like, this shit's 32%, bro. And he'd show me it, and it would say 32 fucking % on it. But it'd be like $40 for that eighth or more. And just want to make sure it didn't go out. You know, that's expensive. For an eighth, that's expensive. I've bought a whole ounce for $40. That was the cheapest ounce I've ever bought, was $40. And that is in Canadian currency, not US. So yeah, $40 for a whole ounce, and he paid $40 for an eighth. Like, that's crazy. Like, when I went to the UK, I brought my girlfriend to the UK for a vacation for us. If you guys don't know, we've been together for 3 years. We finally moved out in like September, I think, or a little bit later, maybe November we moved out. maybe. But yeah, we finally got to go on one of our dream vacations together, which was awesome. The year before that, we went to Toronto together to see some of her family. Well, most of my family is from Ireland, England. I have some living in Germany. They're fucking everywhere, but none of them live where I live, which is really sad because that means I have to take a $1,000 8-hour plus plane trip to go see them, which is like every 3 years I used to go. And well, now that I'm getting older, I don't really have the kind of money to do that because, well, I live on my own now, and that was the decision that my girlfriend and I made together, and we knew we'd be sacrificing our vacations, but that's okay. But when we were in the UK, there was we were there for a whole month, and while we were there, we actually went on a tea break, mainly because we couldn't get weed because it was illegal. But near the end of our vacation, we went into Reading, which is where I have some of my family, and that some of my family enjoys weed like I do. And I was sitting there and I was like, well, if you're offering to spend 80 pounds on an eighth, I think it was an eighth. I hope it was an eighth. I swear it was an eighth. We rolled like 4 joints out of it, so probably an eighth. And they were like the king size papers. That's all that they have over there is the king size papers, or at least that's all that my cousin would buy was the king size papers. I think it's also because she'd buy like bundles where it would have like 2 50 packs of filters, and then 50 papers as well, or like 100 papers. So I could see why she'd buy them. It's probably like, I don't know, not even $5, so not even 5 pounds. So it's like, I don't know. I forget how the conversion goes. But, okay, I remember she spent like $80 on an eighth, right? Now, we got fucking blasted. Now, keep in mind, though, my girlfriend and I hadn't smoked for a straight 2 weeks before smoking that eighth that we had in our possession at that time, near the end of our trip. And we were there actually just over 2 weeks. So, like, our tolerance was pretty low. And, man, that shit hit like a dump truck. And it was so funny because we were thinking that the weed was really great, which it probably wasn't, but our tolerance was that low that the shit weed got us that high. Like, I was sitting there thinking, like, I feel like I'm high for the first time again. Like, I was up there. Like, tolerance breaks are really crucial. They can be hard to do sometimes, though, because for me, once again, I have that nicotine addiction that I've been trying to quit. I don't even own a vape anymore. I don't really smoke cigarettes anymore. If anything, this is what I'll do. But I'll still hit my friends at work, which is not a good thing. But once I eventually get off of it, I don't know where I was going with this point. This shit is hitting me right now. I feel it, and I'm losing my train of thought. I don't know. But back to the UK trip. It was D-Sweet. It was D-Sweet. I think it was Fruity Pebbles that we got. I'm pretty sure that was the strain. It was funny because the plug sent my cousin this massive list. Like, it looked like a grocery list. So, like, it was obviously decent weed. Like, the guy had, like, 12 to 14 strains to choose from. And let me just say, most plugs will, back when marijuana was illegal, they'd walk up to you, you'd give them the money, and they'd be like, open your hand. And they'd just drop it in your hand and be like, have fun. And they'd walk away. That was your interaction with them. And you'd be sitting there like, fuck, man, I don't even have a bag for this shit. So that's what buying from a plug is usually like. But no, this man pulled up a whole ass fucking restaurant looking menu, and I was impressed. Only thing I wasn't impressed about was how long this dude made us wait. We drove to where we need to pick up. We just sat there for probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And we finally got the goods, and we drove back, and it was a good trip. Like, the trip definitely had some issues, and it was more my family that caused the issues, not my cousin and them. Some of my other family that's over there, they're just not the nicest of people, and well, I don't have time to waste in my life for shitty people, so that's why we ended up going to Reading to see that part of my family. We ended up staying with them for like the last little bit of our trip. Sorry if I'm shivering, like I'm cold, but I don't want to put the fan on because it's loud. I might crank it to 2 though, because I'm like dying in here. Something's vibrating. Oh, it's not anymore. Okay. I wanted to record one of my videos on my computer because I know that this mic is pretty shitty, but it does the job. I was actually looking at Rode makes some cool little like phone kits with like a little mic and like a little light cube that sits on top of your phone. I thought it was a camera at first. It's not. It's a little cube that has a little light in it. They're pretty cool. They're like under $200, and I don't know, it seems like for the setup that we have right now, that's something that might come in handy. Some of them come with like a little tripod to sit your phone on. That might actually stand a little bit better and get a better angle of like where our hands are, because you guys can only really see like from right here, and well, I hold my joint down here and you can't even see it, like it's right here. So that's another reason why I might get one of those, is just because it's better angles, and I don't know. We're gonna be in this car for a while. This channel is gonna be a car channel for a while, where we just have sessions in the car, or interviews in the car. Everything is gonna be in this car for a while, and it kind of sucks because like I have everything to like make the podcast or like a real podcast, but I don't have anywhere to do it, and I have nowhere to smoke weed inside. And well, where I live, that ain't smoking weather out there, brother. Unless it's summertime. Unless it's summertime, because I don't even know. Sometimes it gets like 45 degrees Celsius here. Like last year it hit 45. And I couldn't even think of smoking. It was so hot outside that like I find when you smoke, it warms you up, at least with me, and Bryn as well, she agrees, it warms her up. It's kind of like alcohol when you take a strong shot and it's warm, like you feel it. I find this warms me up too. And smoking in 40 plus degrees, you're just sitting there, you take a rip and you're just sweating. You're like, oh, pain. Or like, you'll take a bong rip. Have you ever gotten like dab sweats? Have you ever gotten dab sweats in like summer? I just call them weed sweats, because I get dab sweats from bong rips, from dab rips, even from joints sometimes. Rarely from joints, but definitely when I first started smoking again. If you guys didn't know, I smoked when I was younger, like 14, 15, and then I stopped for like 3 years because like my brain just wasn't really developed properly, and I was just running into some issues, and so I took a break for like 3 years, and then I started doing it again only last year, and I've been fine. So I've just continued to do it, and it's honestly improved my life. That's why I've continued to do it, and that's why I made a YouTube channel on it, is because I remember when I was younger, I'd watch videos on people saying like, you know, weed would help them and stuff like that. And well, with the kind of job that I do, I get home and my body hurts every day. And I don't know, there's always those people when you say that like you smoke I don't smoke weed for body pains. I smoke weed to get high. I smoke weed for my body pains. I smoke weed because it's fun. I smoke weed because sometimes I don't want to use nicotine, and I'll try and lean myself off of nicotine using that, and it works for me, right? Because it's just something else to replace it. And yes, I know it can cause bad habits. I know all this stuff. I've been in this game for like 5+ years. Like, trust me, I've already heard it, right? I've already heard it. But for me, it just works sometimes. I found that when I was in the UK, I quit nicotine as well, and they have gum packs over there for like 80p, which is like 80 cents, and it was like a pack like this big and like this fucking thick of like 40 pieces of gum, or you get like a strip and there would be like 12 packs in it for like £5, which is like $6. I don't know, like $8. And like it was crazy. Like, it was just so much. And every time I got cravings, I would throw a piece of gum in my mouth, and when the craving went away, I would spit the gum out. And there was actually a point where I thought in my head that I was starting to get addicted to the gum, because I had fully replaced nicotine with the gum. And the second I had the gum in my mouth at one point, after like almost 2 weeks, I would put the gum in my mouth, my cravings would go away instantly. And I started to worry that I was actually going to get mentally addicted to the gum because my brain thinks it has nicotine in it. And I know that's not really how the brain works, but it felt that way. Like, it was weird. I was sitting there like, what if I get addicted to chewing gum? I mean, I'll have a great jawline. But yeah, I find chewing gum is the best way to quit nicotine if you do want to. But you need to buy it in bulk. Yeah, that is finished. That is kaputsies. If you don't buy it in bulk, you're going to go through it too quickly. And then you're not going to want to replace it. You're just going to want to have real nicotine. So, like, literally buy it in bulk. No matter if it's $20, $5, buy it in bulk. I just broke the piece of ice in there. Because you want it to last that 2-week period, right? Let's say you eat like 20 pieces of gum a day, right? Now, when you get nicotine cravings, it'll be 20+ pieces a day you eat. Now, times that by 2 weeks, right? That's including weekends and everything. You'll go through a lot of gum, so make sure that you have a lot if you do want to do it, because when I did it the first time, I ran out and I went straight back to nicotine. You can't run out, because sometimes you just don't have it in you to go to the store and buy more gum, and someone beside you has a vape on them or some kind of tobacco, and it ruins your day when you fall back, you know? It ruins your day. It's not worth it. So just, if you go the gum route, make sure you got a lot. But I think that is it for this session. Sometimes it's nice when it's a spliff because there's less weed in it. There's a bit of tobacco, and tobacco doesn't really make me cough. Weed makes me cough. Like, when I smoked a joint, I'm dying near the end of it. I've smoked like 5 cigarettes in a sitting, and I wouldn't cough at all, right? So I don't know. Sometimes spliffs are nice because I'm not hacking up a lung in the video, but I know that's kind of the funny bit. Both Bryn and I both laugh when we're hacking up lungs. It's pretty funny. Especially in the other video when she like went outside and started pacing up and down. She was dying laughing in that, like, after we watched that video. I think she watched that video over and over again, like, just for that one part. She thought it was so funny. So yeah, that's kind of also why we like to just leave it raw footage. I know the videos can get a little bit long sometimes, like it's almost 20 minutes, but you don't have to watch it all. You don't have to, but if you do, that's great. But yeah, like I said, we'll eventually start cutting them down a little bit. To make them just a little bit more flowy, but until that day comes, this is just what you guys are getting, and if this is what you guys are enjoying, maybe this will be what we continue doing. But other than that, thank you guys for joining the sesh. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I was gonna say afternoon, but evening. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and follow. Like, subscribe, and comment.